What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we will be speed rebuilding the Detroit Lions, possibly the worst team in the league right now besides maybe the Jaguars. As you can see by the overalls, they're 76 across the board, so they're pretty terrible. If you don't know what a speed rebuild is, we basically just do 1 year. I do everything basically before the season starts, trades, signings, stuff like that. We're only doing 1 year, that's how it works, and since we're only doing 1 year, then we are going to trade pretty much all of our draft picks and try to get players out of them. Hopefully we can at least make the playoffs, that's my goal today because they're the Lions. Alright, let's take a quick look at the roster. As you can see, Jared Goff is our starting quarterback because he just got traded. Maybe it's been a month, it's been at least a couple weeks. But he's a 77 overall, he's not terrible. He's not the best, but he actually has pretty good throwing stats. I'm not sure why he's so low overall. I guess it's because his awareness isn't that great. We may keep him and just try to rock with him for the season, or we may trade him if we can get something good for him. Running back is Williams, and then Swift is right behind him. I'll probably start Swift because he's younger and has that hidden development thing. Receivers, we got Tyrell Williams, Muhammad Sanu Jr., Damian Amendola, and Cephas. I'm not sure what his first name is. Not the worst receiving core, but definitely not the best either. Offensive line is kind of a mixed bag. It's decent. You got Decker, Jackson, Frank Ragnow, who's like the best overall on the team, Dahl, and Crosby. I definitely want to upgrade that right tackle position because that's pretty important. TJ Hawkinson at the tight end position with, I think that's Jesse James backing him up, so at least the tight end position is kind of locked down. And the defense, well, the D-line is okay. I'm not sure why we're playing a 3-4. Yeah, I got Trey Flowers and Michael Brockers at the ends. Those are the best players on defense, with Danny Shelton and Deshaun Hand holding down the middle. Desmond Trufant and Justin Coleman at the outside. And you got the rookie Jeff Okudah with hidden development. He's at the corner position as well. Then you got Walker and Harmon at the safeties. They're okay. The linebacking core is not great. Sean Dion Hamilton, Davis, Tavai, I think that's how you say it, and Jamie Collins, who's pretty decent. I want to get a better middle linebacker, so that'll probably be one of the focuses when I do a trade. Alright, our first transaction, we traded our first round pick because again we're not going to use it, it's just 1 year. We got Leighton Vander Esch, who's a 78 and he's also young, so he'll probably improve over the season, maybe get to around 80 overall. Was this a little bit of a reach maybe, but we desperately needed a middle linebacker.
Yeah, boy.
And with our second transaction, we got my boy Matt Ryan, 85 overall. We just traded him Jared Goff and our first round pick for the next year, I guess 2 drafts from now. Quite an upgrade at quarterback, 8 overalls better, and the age thing does not matter. Of course, it's only 1 year, so I'm not worried about that. It's just we're trying to get as good as we can for this year, and I think this trade has definitely done that. Our third transaction, we got Tyler Lockett, who will immediately be our #1 receiver. We got him for a second, a third, and a 4th round pick for this next year. Probably my best trade of the day, honestly. That's a steal. Fourth transaction, we got Jack Conklin, right tackle, 79 overall from the Browns for a 2nd and a 3rd round pick. Fifth transaction, we got Marcus Golden, right outside linebacker from the Cardinals, 79 overall for a 5th, 6th, and a 4th. Now, we have used all of our draft picks. The 6th transaction, we got, I think his first name is Justin, I'm not sure, Pugh, 78 overall left guard for a 5th, 6th, and a 7th for this next year. Very good trade, I must say. Big upgrade there. We have now used all our draft picks, so that may be the end of the trades. One more trade I'm going to do. We're going to trade DeAndre Swift for Sammy Watkins from Chiefs. We really didn't need DeAndre Swift. We have plenty of backs that are just as good or better than him. Sammy Watkins is going to really level out that receiving core and make it much better than it already is. Alright, after all the trades, you can see the team looks a little different now. We got Matt Ryan at quarterback. He's going to be our commander-in-chief for the year. Much better than Jared Goff in terms of overall and just pretty much about everything but speed. We got Tyler Lockett and Sammy Watkins both on the outside now. So we can put Williams and Amendola. They can play in the slot or just be the backups. We got Pugh at left guard and Conklin at right tackle, immediately bolstering the offensive line some. Defensively, we got Leighton Vander Esch. He's holding down the middle right there. And we also got Marcus Golden to be the outside linebacker on the right side instead of Sean Dion Hamilton. So this team isn't great. Yeah, I think we can maybe make the playoffs. We'll see.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
All right, halfway through the season, we are 2-5. That's not great, but we can still recover. We're not last in the division, at least. I mean, we're tied for last, but could be worse. We could be 0-7. Stat-wise, Ryan is playing okay. He's got just over 2,000 yards with 10 touchdowns and 5 picks on pretty good completion percentage. Jamal Williams is not doing great. He's averaging less than 4 yards a carry with just 3 touchdowns, although Kerryon Johnson has 8 touchdowns, which is really good so far. Receiving, Tyler Lockett, 385 with 3. Cephas with 360 and 3. Hawkinson with 341 and 1. Watkins with 264 and 2. We're spreading the ball around, which is good, I guess, but no one receiver is really standing out right now. And then defensively, it does not look like we're getting barely any sacks, because our leading sack leader after 7 games has 2, which is not good. That's Trey Flowers, and then Shelton has 1.5, Ragland has 1, Golden has 1. It's just not going great. Alright, I'm about to sim to the end of the regular season. Hopefully we can bounce back from this terrible start, and I will see you then. Well, hey, would you look at that? We finished 8-8. We did not finish with a losing record. You know what? I would actually call that a success, because they won like, what, 3 games last year or something in real life. Stat-wise, Ryan was actually second in yards, I think, and he had 27 touchdowns and 13 picks. He threw, what, like 17 touchdowns in the second half of the season, which is really good. So I'd say that was a very good trade for us. Rushing wise, Jamal Williams almost got 1,000 yards. He had also had 7 touchdowns. Kerryon Johnson had 12 touchdowns, which is very, very good. So the rushing actually wasn't too bad. Receiving was still very spread out. Tyler Lockett with 907. Hawkinson with 869 and 3. Cephas with 838 and 6. Watkins with 706. Jamal Williams also had 430 yards receiving, so he was a very good playmaker for us this year. And then defensively, Tavai led us in tackles. Trey Flowers was a monster. He had 20 tackles for a loss. Brockers had 10. Hand had 10, so we had a lot of tackles for loss, actually. And then sacks, Trey Flowers had 7.5, but the next closest person was Shelton with 2.5. So that was a big problem. The pass rush was just not there. That was probably the biggest problem of the team, I'd say, and maybe the secondary. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. I know it didn't go exactly how I wanted to. We almost made the playoffs, though. I'd say that was a success because we improved the win total probably by like 4 or 5 games just from a few trades that we did. So I'd say 8-8 with the Lions is a success, because I mean, they're the Lions, they suck. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the speed rebuild today, make sure to like and subscribe and let me know if you enjoyed it, and I'll try to do more of these in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.